Hey guys, this is Brandon, also known as Numbers D&D. I wanted to read some Reddit stories as my first long-form video, and let me tell you, today we have a fun lesson to learn for some of you novice DMs and an absolute nightmare to hear from the player's perspective. If this happened to me, I would be, well, let's just listen to this car wreck. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 500 subs so I can start monetization. So far, it's been a labor of love, and I really want to get something off the ground. You've all been very sweet so far, and I wanted to make more content for you all. Anyways, let's get started. Our party was running up on some evil wizards who had a MacGuffin we needed to get into the next area. We had initially allied with them, but after doing more than our fair share of work, they hadn't done the bare minimum, so things escalated into a fight. The enemies won the initiative, and the Dungeon Master had all 5 mages act on the same initiative. Our party was pretty spread out, with the druid and wizard together in the center, leading the conversation, while the cleric, bard, and fighter were on the flanks. Oh man, just based off the title, I can already see where this is going. The evil wizard's bandit minions kick things off by doing a little bit of damage to everyone at range. The party wizard takes a few hits, but saves his reaction to counterspell, because evil wizards go next. On their turn, they cast Fireball on our druid and wizard. Let me say that again. All 5 of them cast Fireball on our druid and wizard. Our wizard successfully counterspells the first, but that's his one reaction. Then the second wizard upcasts Fireball, the DM citing that he saw the first one counterspelled. The good party wizard fails his dex save and is down. Then the third Fireball. Wizard fails a death save. Fourth Fireball on the same spot. Wizard takes a second death save, and the druid is down despite tiefling fire resistance. So what does Dungeon Master have the 5th wizard do now that both targets are unconscious? He casts Fireball on the same spot. At this point, the wizard player says that it's pretty shitty of the DM to do that, especially since the cleric and bard were also grouped together and are an equal threat. The DM said, yeah, these guys aren't messing around. Yeah, these guys aren't messing around. 32d6, and that's not including the one the wizard managed to counterspell. That would have been 40d6 damage to them. 32d6 is an average of 112. Oh my gosh. Long story short, the bard got surrounded by bandit minions at the start of the next round, and then similarly got hit by 3 Cone of Colds on the wizard's turn, which also kills all the bandits. The third Cone of Cold rolls 50 plus damage, and the bard suffers instant death. The cleric had one 300 gold piece diamond component, and after a lot of humming and hawing, chose to revivify the bard. In my opinion, that's an awful position for the cleric player, because it creates hard feelings whenever they choose to revivify one person over the other. The evil wizards also did not have any diamond components on them. The wizard player had 2 years of character growth wiped out in a single round and was extremely pissed. He cursed out the DM for a bit and then got up and left for the day. At the next session, he came back with a disruptive joke character, and I honestly didn't blame him. That sounded like an absolute nightmare. I I don't know what I would do if I was at that table. I actually don't. I'm speechless just hearing the story. I want to know what it was like sitting at that table. I really do. I mean, who does this guy expect to survive 112 average damage? It's not even 112. He planned for more, and the wizard counterspelled one of them. Oh my god. Even if he cast Absorb Elements instead of Counterspell, that's still 40d6 damage halved. That's still over 60 damage against a wizard. Unless you're already higher level on a wizard, that's pretty much death, if not real close to it. And this Dungeon Master took the extra step of, even after having 5 fireballs, doing 3 cones of cold just to make sure that that wizard would die. What kind of guy does that? All I know is if I was in the DM seat and I cooked up this plan, I don't think I'd be able to sleep at night if I killed 2 of my players in one round with 5 fireballs. I've been at the end of games before where, I'll use a fireball in a party to scare them because, HP is a valuable resource, especially in a final fight, but, I mean, 5? Jeez. While recording this, I was speechless for over 2 minutes just thinking about the prospect of being a dungeon master, sitting at this table, having these players, these 5 players, all excited to finally get into this campaign that we've been playing for 2 years, and then I just sit down, invite them to my house, and then I just sit there and cast 5 fireballs on the wizard and druid. I can't I can't fathom the thought process in that. It's crazy to me. At the end of my Tomb of Annihilation campaign, I had a fighter who was level 9 with maximum constitution. He had around like 115-ish HP. That's not even the 5 fireballs. That's the average for like the 4 fireballs, pretty much. So that guy is like guaranteed dead. You know, in the last fight I had with Sararak at the end of the Tomb of Annihilation campaign, I knew somebody was going to die because I gave the Sararak the spell Finger of Death. And that spell is, if they have less than 100 HP, they're dead and they come back as a zombie. It's like an 8th level spell or something like that. Might even be 9th. And that was more narratively impactful than if I had basically just picked the guy who was either at the forefront or just off in the corner and cast 5 fireballs at him. 5! What makes somebody to... 5? How do you make that decision? 5 fireballs? Just trying to use that Finger of Death on one of my players, I was so stressed out. I had a headache. We were in the final fight, and I had a headache so bad. I had the sweats so bad. I actually had to take a break, and we had to finish it the next day. Like, I've never been so stressed out in my life just knowing that I was going to kill a player. It actually made me physically ill in the fight. And just sitting down at a table, just this grin on your face, ready to cast 5 fireballs at somebody. Sorry for saying 5 so much, guys. I know it's super annoying at this point, but I cannot get over it. If you guys like this narration and want more content like it, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as hitting the notification bell. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers so I can start monetization. This has been Brandon, also known as Numbers D&D. I hope you all have an amazing night and have the sweet dreams you deserve. If you guys have any more stories you'd like me to react to, put them in a link down below.